Hello guys, it's Timi here, and I want to welcome you in the first episode of Celtics Q&A with Timi. So I still don't know if it's gonna be a regular thing, but I decided to give it a try. But before we start, I just want to say two things. First is that this is actually the first time putting myself in front of a camera and doing something like this. And the second thing is that English is not really my first language because I was born and raised in Poland. So please just remember those two things, and I hope you will be understanding, and I will try my best to make these videos for you and that you can enjoy these Q&As. So the plan is to once in a while, I don't know, maybe it's gonna be once in a week, maybe once in a month, to just answer some of your questions that you can ask on YouTube, on Patreon, also on my Twitter. So I will just hook you up with some links in the description, so be sure to check it out. This may be one of the most popular questions that I get because as some of you may already know, I live in Poland, so I don't really have any connection, like real connection to the Celtics. So how did it start? Well, we need to go back to 2008. I was just 13 at that time, and I didn't really know, I had no idea that the Celtics just won the championship. But I knew that I want to become a sports journalist, though I didn't want to write about these big European football clubs. I wasn't really that much into the NBA, but I knew some of the most popular players and teams. And then somehow, just like that, I stumbled upon Rajon Rondo and saw him play with the Celtics, and that's how I fell in love with basketball and Celtics. So fortunately for me, there was this Polish website about the Celtics, and they needed someone to write about the team. So I volunteered, and they accepted me, and thanks to that, I was able to follow the team on a regular basis. And from that moment, I just soaked in with the Celtics history, but also the city of Boston, the Celtic pride, all the banners, the legends. And lucky for me, the first playoff series that I was able to watch live, on my computer, staying up late in the night, was the legendary 7-game series between the Celtics and the Bulls, when rookie Derrick Rose went against Rajon Rondo. And Rondo at the time was already starting to get that nickname of a Mr. Triple-Double, and it was just legendary series because the teams went really at it, and it was just so many great emotions. And from that moment I just fell in love even more with the Celtics, and I just knew that that the play of basketball is really something else. And that's how I became a Celtics fan, and it's really crazy to think that now I can say that I've been a Celtics fan for more than half of my life at this point. It all started with Rajon Rondo. He's my all-time favorite. Then it was Marcus Smart because of everything he brought to the team, his passion, his heart, his leadership, and with him you could expect anything, and in every game you didn't really know what crazy stuff he can pull out. So this defensive highlight reels that I've made for Marcus during his years in Boston, it's still some of my favorite videos that I've ever made. And now, these days, I would say my favorite are both the Jays, so Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It's just because I was able to see both of them grow, since being drafted by the Celtics. They've been through a lot together and grew so much, as players, as teammates, as human beings, and really got to a point when they were finally able to fight all the demons, all the heartbreaks, and bring that championship to a city of Boston. So you can only imagine how crushed I was, and still am after what happened at the end of the season with Tatum's injury, and then the team losing to the Knicks in 6 games. So I guess we all expected some kind of change coming this summer, but now it's a lot of uncertainty. And I just can't escape this feeling that this might unfortunately be an end of an era. So yeah, I'm still excited of what's to come, but like this really was a brutal end. But you know, as they say, at least banners, they fly forever. So as I already mentioned, even before the Tatum's injury, we expected some kind of change in Boston this summer, and now I think that this unfortunate situation may really like speed up the whole process. And you know, it's not only because of like rising tax, but also being a second apron team. Celtics are looking at record-breaking payroll, like it's gonna be $500 million next season. On top of that, there will be some harsh basketball penalties if they don't stop spending. So you know, a soft reset was already expected this summer, and I think it was really reasonable to think that they would try to at least get under the second apron. But now with Tatum's injury, I guess that the Celtics can take like even like greater like step back. And you know, maybe even try to get under the luxury tax to try to reset the clock on the repeater tax penalties. Like that could be really helpful down the line, you know, when they will be reloading the roster around healthy Tatum. And from what we hear, both Porzingis and Holiday can be traded this summer. But it's somewhat hard, you know, to predict what it's going to take for the Celtics to unload them, as aging Holiday, who is going to be 35 years old soon, has like 3 years and more than 100 million left on his deal, while Porzingis is coming off of a season in which he once again was like a non-factor in the playoffs. And you know, he's going to be on an expiring contract next season, but that mystery illness on top of his injury history can make it a little tricky for the Celtics on the trade market. So yeah, I don't know what is going to happen this summer, but I think the Celtics will like do some kind of reset. So be ready to say goodbye to some of the members of the 2024 championship squad. But you know, in Brad we trust. Yeah, and that's it for the first episode. So please let me know in the comments what you guys think. Maybe you guys have some suggestions, and you know, I really hope that we can have like more discussion on my channel like going forward. Yeah, and you can also post your questions like in the comments under this video, that maybe I will use them, you know, in the next episode. So appreciate you all, and yeah, go Celtics!